Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at and installing our CURT Front Mount Hitch for 2025 GMC Sierra. Our CURT Front Mount Hitch is going to be something a little different than we're usually putting on. This one's going to be set up so you can have a portable winch that goes on the front of your truck, or maybe you want to have a bike rack or a cargo carrier on there. I've actually even seen people mount plows to these, like snow plows, so that's kind of a cool option as well. It's going to be a 2-inch receiver. This one will not have any chain loops or anything on it, but you can still use this one to park your trailer if you wanted to. Say you wanted to park it in a tight spot and it's easier for you to see it pushing it from the front of your truck. This is a really nice option for you as well. This hitch is also going to have a 9,000 pound line pull rating, and that's basically going to be for maybe pulling with a winch or something like that. You're going to want to double check with your owner's manual and make sure your numbers line up with that. Your hitch is going to have a 5/8 pinhole opening, and that's going to secure your accessories that you put on the front. This hitch will not come with the pin, so make sure you get one when you put in your order here at eTrailer. Another nice option for these is a locking pin that'll lock on any of your accessories that you have on the front. As far as measurements, from the center of the pinhole to the outside of the bumper past the plate, we're looking at right at about 7 inches. And that's going to be your clearance for anything you put on the front. As far as for clearance from the front, from the top of the tube to the ground, we're looking at right at about 14 inches. So that's the clearance that you'll have with that. As far as installation for this hitch, it's pretty straightforward and not too bad to do at all. It's going to take some basic tools to get it done, and a couple hours, I'd say, and you'd be able to get it done. If it's something you don't have time to do yourself, you can take a look at our dealer locator and get something done locally for you. Or if you feel like doing it yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, we have our tow hook bolts in the front. The ones that are the furthest back are the ones we're going to remove. We're going to use an 18mm deep well socket and an 18mm wrench. And on each side of our vehicle, we're going to remove both of those. Now we can remove our bolt and nut. Now on the driver's side, inside of the frame rail, we're going to have this little wire holder. We're going to just put our clip tool under that. And we're just going to pop that for now and move that up out of the way. Now with the hardware in our kit, we're going to have our large spacer blocks, and we're going to have our carriage bolt. We just want to pop that in there. Now there's 2 different ways you can go about this. If you feel like you can't get it to go in from this direction, you can always use the fish wire technique and run your wire through and hook it to this. But the way I'm going to do it today is I'm just going to send it in, and I can feel the end of the bolt. And all I have to do is get my carriage bolt and my spacer to come through. Just like that. Let it drop down into place. And I'll do that on both sides. Now what we want to do is, in our kit we have these smaller spacer blocks, and what I want to do with this is I want to get some tape on it, and then I'm going to cut the hole out so it'll go over our bolt. Carefully cut that out. Now we can take our spacer block, put it over our bolt, run it up to the frame, get it set flush, just tape that to our frame. And we'll do that on both sides. Now we went ahead and fit our hitch in place, and we do notice that we're going to have to trim a little bit of our air dam. I do recommend that before you do any kind of cutting, always hold it in place where your bolt holes are going to line up, and mark it that way before you do any kind of cutting at all. Now we have everything marked out and taped up. I like to use a little blue tape just so we don't nick anything. So what I'm going to do is just start cutting with my reciprocating saw. Now that I have it cut across here, I am going to roll it back And then I'm going to cut along this edge, and that's going to give us a cleaner look right here. Now we'll take our flange nut that comes in our kit, and we'll get those started onto our hardware and run that up finger tight as far as you can on both sides. Now, as far as our hardware goes, we have our long bolts, and we're going to take our conical washer and run that on there, and we want the teeth portion going against our hitch. We're going to take our bolt and go in from the inside and then run it out. To get your hardware to go in place, you may have to wiggle the hitch a little bit. Just get it wiggled around. You may have to back these off. That's why we leave them finger tight. If you back these down with your fingers, you're going to be able to move your hitch around a little bit better. Now we'll take our factory nut that we removed and thread that on to the long bolt that came in our kit. With a 19mm socket, we will tighten up, get them snug, our carriage bolts on the bottom first. Now, using a 19mm socket and our 18mm wrench, we'll tighten up our long bolts. Just want to get these snug for now. Now, with our hardware all in place and we like where our hitch is sitting, we can come back through and torque down our hardware to the recommended specifications listed in our instruction manual. Now, in our manual, it does say that it wants us to tighten these bottom ones first, so that's going to draw it up and where it wants to be. So we'll go ahead and start with those first. Now, when we torque down our upper bolt, it's going to be a 19mm socket and a 18mm socket. And that was a look at our CURT Front Mount Hitch for our 2025 GMC Sierra. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.